Today we're playing F1 25 Driver Career Mode for the very first time, and we're going to see if there is any difference at all from this to last year's F1 game. As of course, on this year's game, the focus was fully on my team career mode, but there is still a driver career mode, and I have seen on occasion a few of you commenting below asking if I was ever going to do a driver career on this game. Probably not a full series, but here we are trying it out at least in one video. And at least a new feature for this year's driver career is the addition option of adding Connor Sport or the Apex GP car to the grid. So you can actually get 11 teams within driver career mode, having that fictional added team. Although I gotta say, bit disappointed to actually find out that when you select Apex GP, it's not actually that, you know, modified Formula 2 car with the far more interesting nose cone and aero, but still having the option to make it an extra team, entire team on the grid within driver career is a welcomed addition and a change to last year's game mode. We can also add the driver icons, of course, into the career, which we've done, but that will only come up once we get to the driver transfers. Having a look at the customization of our avatar, a few new faces to pick from, so that's always welcome just to freshen up a little bit, although I still feel like they always need way more options just to make it a bit more personalized. And then this area of the entire game I've not even touched yet, because in my team you don't need to with two real drivers. Very, very odd actually now thinking about it, that, you know, you can use these special unlocks from F1 World in the career, and you can use a real life driver's helmet as yours, like Behrman and Ocon special helmets. There's also a bunch of Hamilton special helmets, or older helmets, because of course of you know, his partnership with this game. And I thought a nice fitting tribute to Roscoe to pick the Roscoe Hamilton helmet for this one. Of course, then we come to the all important podium emotes, and well, we can griddy on them on the podium. That is exactly what I want to play the driver career mode for. I've been missing this option, is just absolutely flexing on them. And then you add in the ability to Sui. I mean, it's just perfect, isn't it? It's just what you want from an F1 game. Now, on a real, actually, I think it's a good bit of fun. You know, it's adding a little bit of, you know, comedy and customization, where, you know, it's the only place you can really get that sort of thing in F1, because the rest of it's all very kind of how it has to be with the official stuff and everything like that. And, you know, it's a bit of a shame that we don't get to see that anymore a lot in the My Team series. And I'm really hoping that maybe for next year's F1 game, they kind of learn from the critique and opinions that, you know, give us still the option to maybe have our own driver in the My Team, so then you can actually get some of that customization that's still in driver career in My Team as well. But for now, we press on forwards and choose our team, and you may have seen it at the very intro of the video. We're going to actually go for driving in Apex GP. So we're not driving as any of the official F1 teams, but instead the F1 movie team. Alongside, of course, we had to go for the big star, Sonny Hayes. Stealing my number 7, I must say, but it's fine. It's fine. We'll all make do. And with that, all the settings are confirmed. It's time to begin our driver career on F1 25.
Finally, let's do this for real. Sorry it took so long. You know what these legal types are like? Yes, sir. No, sir. Here's 80 pages of needless jargon, sir. Anyway, believe it or not, this is my excited face. Come on, come on. Let me show you what we've got. So, all the usual stuff, merchandising, likeness, blah, 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 but the really juicy stuff is their expectation of you. They need you to challenge yourself all season, be the best you can be, dominate your teammate, become a legend. All that jazz. Now, it's over to you.
So the intro cutscene is well and truly just the exact same as the one seen in F1 24. So if you played F1 24, you've already seen this, you know what's coming, but I suppose there probably are more new players to F1 25 coming and playing it for the first time than they were on that atrocious game. And speaking of an atrocious game, loading in and seeing this old Vista and this old house of ours in Driver Career honestly gave me the fear. It gave me PTSD seeing that Vista loading in. Even seeing these menus just makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up a little bit, just because it's been ingrained in me that this is F1 24 career, even though obviously this is on F1 25. So, you know, a lot of the AI issues have been much improved. There's obviously still some quirks to figure out with Slipstream and Dirty Air. That's a big topic in the community, but a lot of the overarching massive issues that made F1 24 so unenjoyable have been rectified when it comes to wheel-to-wheel racing. So there's no cause to panic that much, but at the same time, there's just so many bad memories that I really feel like in F1 26, they should just refresh the entire UI of Driver Career, just so that people don't get that same fear when they boot it up and they might try Driver Career. Let's put a pin in this discussion right now and check out the first grid reveal of F1 25, because there wasn't one in my team. Seeing the full grid of drivers just reminded me, though, an important point with this is saying that the AI wheel-to-wheel racing is improved from F1 24 to 25. One thing that is still a massive problem on Driver Career mode that I know of in F1 25 is the transfers. There is no slider like there is in my team, which is a big oversight, I feel. But I think it's because, annoyingly, the driver transfers here in Driver Career are all tied to that new contract system, which basically makes it so difficult for the AI teams to have good, juicy transfers, because I think in the back end, they're all tied to these long contracts, which may be realistic, but are so dull in a video game that you're playing for such a short amount of time. So, yeah, that is still a big thing that needs sorting out, and in F1 26 has to be addressed, because giving it 1 year off, okay, fine, to redo my team, but then I feel the next time coming round, you're obviously wanting my team improvements for F1 26, but I'll also be looking out for actual genuine improvements to Driver Career mode as well. But for now, we're going to now delve into our first race weekend driving for Apex GP.
It's the start of a brand new campaign, and so many questions need answers. Can McLaren keep their strong form going? Will Ferrari thrive? Will we see Red Bull taking back their crown? Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he will start from pole position. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Yuki Tsunoda and Hamilton, Ocon, Antonelli, Alonso and Isaac Hadjar, Russell, Sainz, Alex Albon and Behrman, Lawson, Gasly, Gabriel Bortoleto and Lance Stroll, Doohan, Hayes, Hulkenberg and an Apex rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Welcome to the commentary box overlooking the circuit. I'm Alex Jakes, and joining us for the race today is Naomi Schiff. Well, welcome back. After all the testing, the build-up, it all now comes down to this.
This is always such an exciting time in the season. First of all, it's the first time they'll be racing their new cars. So that's always an exciting thing for drivers to look forward to. But also, they've had a long time off during the winter break. So it's about dusting the cobwebs off, getting the rust off of their bones, and really getting their elbows out there and having some fun.
So obviously, just like in F1 the movie, it's not been a great qualifying for us, myself and Hayes at the back of the grid, but some plan C action may be upon us in this first race of the 2025 season here at the Australian Grand Prix. And I've got to say, that Roscoe helmet is absolutely awesome. Such a cool design on the top with the Union Jack and really lovely Roscoe image on the top of it as well. Really, really cool. As we barrel in to turn one, we've gained a couple of positions. I got to say, I don't know whether it's specifically the Apex GP car or it's just the base level of F125 cars now compared to what I'm used to now of Season 4 My Team career mode with maxed out cars for so long. Oh my understeer. This thing felt like a boat. Now, I want to say it's probably more the Apex GP performance. And then to that respect, I don't know whether this, obviously in the movie it was an F2 car altered. I don't know whether really the performance of this car in this career is basically that of an F2 car, because it certainly felt like that in a few corners where I felt like I had to brake for so long just to get the nose turned in. But like I said, it also just might be a bit of a weird perception effect of, going from maxed out cars to now the base cars that feel so feeble and so slow. As we make a good kamikaze dive though on Bortoleto up to P17. We are the worst car on the grid, so we're not expecting a lot from this race. We've already overtaken Hayes, so really we're doing quite well. It's only a 5-lap race, because I said, we're only, just testing out driver career basically. But one thing I forgot about, now this is something that I wish was in my team but you just can't do it properly, is these objectives. I actually do miss getting these in career mode, because although maybe they were sometimes a little bit easy to do, it at least gave you like a little mini bit of gameplay to aim for, especially if there was maybe a more boring race. It gave you at least something to look at as we've understeered straight into the wall. That's how awful that car felt, that my muscle memory just thought, no, that I should hold my line right here, and we understeered straight into the wall. And to be fair, I think this is a 100% accurate Apex GP simulation of how the first race weekend went. F1 the movie, remember, the two drivers crashed with each other at Silverstone. So, half that job's done. Maybe Hayes crash later on. And I think we did the team proud of it. That was law accurate.
Testing. We all wondered who it was going to be, and to have them drawn out here today, that they are the ones to be, just goes to show that all the work they put in has really counted.
Here we go then, the top 3 from the race making their way onto the rostrum. And Lando Norris holds the trophy aloft.
Well, quite nicely, the top 3 in the championship IRL, as this video is posted in 2025, is the top 3 here in this race. Although actually Piastri's third there and Verstappen second, but with how things are going, maybe Max can start to actually legitimately catch the McLarens. We shall see. But that has been our first race weekend over with Apex GP. But well and truly, being completely honest, yeah, I mean, apart from adding Apex GP and Connor Sport into it, and obviously the wheel-to-wheel racing has been improved. It is the same as it is in my team, which is a lot better than it was in 24. There's nothing else really there with driver career mode. And well and truly, from my perspective, is why I probably won't be doing a series on this mode, is because you get everything you get in this mode in my team, plus you get to have your own team and have that ownership aspect of it. Yes, it's a little bit, you don't get to drive as yourself, but I've already kind of made my peace with that for this year's game. Like I said, hopefully on F1 26, that is something that gets rectified or looked at. And there are some small aspects of the driver career where I wish it was kind of, more like that with my team. But well and truly, it's just kind of a baked down or watered down version of the kind of gameplay you get in that other mode, which is, the same reason why for so many years, once my team came in from 2020, no one played driver career mode until F1 24, and then what a letdown that was. So yeah, that is F1 25 driver career mode. I'm sure for a certain subset of people that really enjoy driving as themselves or want to drive as an official team or for an official team, they'll still enjoy it, and they'll enjoy it a lot more than they did on last year's F1 game. But for me, and definitely it seems like for the YouTube audience, I think more interest is there driving for your own team and going from that zero to hero aspect and having those different stories, especially now with the better driver transfers you have in my team, whereas the driver transfers are still annoyingly really bad and broken or in this specific mode, which is something they absolutely have to fix for next year's game, and something I'll be critiquing them for that into the new year. But for those of you who are wondering about me playing driver career mode ever on this game, here we are. Probably the one and only video you'll get from me, unless, I don't know, maybe my mind changes down the line. But if you have enjoyed this one, hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.